we're going to go into a conversation with Denham, who kindly joined us, as you heard from Ted's introduction. Denham is the perfect person to be talking about how MSP should be thinking about AI because he runs MSP database. He also uses AI in his other practice, which is mostly lead generation for MSPs, and he works with a lot of MSPs and customers that are looking to buy MSPs. So, Denham, welcome to our webinar. Hopefully, you're
Thank
having
you.
a good day so far.
Yes, I am. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Fantastic. All right, so let's jump in. Denim, you run MSP database. You have profiles of thousands of MSPs there. I'm curious, from your perspective, is AI as a service something that you're seeing many MSPs already offer, or is it still rare? Is it already becoming mainstream? Where do you think we are as an industry?
Well, like you mentioned earlier, it's definitely early days as far as offering AI as a service. So now is a great time to build a foundation to provide AI services. And what I'm seeing happen a lot is the SEO queries are starting to come in. I'll just
Mm,
give a quick background about myself. I'm a full stack web developer, and I founded MSP Database about 5 years ago now. And the reason why I built it was because I've been in SEO for many years, and I never knew what an MSP was till 2021. And when I discovered the industry, I started talking to MSPs. I saw how hungry they were for leads, and that matched well with my skill set. So I built the MSP database. I started generating traffic, and I have had hundreds of discussions since that time with different MSPs. And I see AI as a huge opportunity to get in on the ground level, start building your your exposure, your digital presence for AI as a service. Because um, if you go to a lot of MSP websites, a lot of them aren't even mentioning it on their
right,
service page. So I have a few practical suggestions that MSPs can start now. Like we mentioned, this whole podcast is about having or doing it within 30 days. So definitely getting a service page about your AI offerings is a huge one because I've been to or visited many websites, MSP websites, and rarely are they mentioning it. So if you get in and start building your exposure, your presence, there's definitely opportunities out there because on the other end, there's customers, there's businesses, there's executives that know AI can help them, and they're looking for that advice. And if you, as the MSP, as you mentioned, if you already have your foot in the door, you definitely have opportunity to increase your monthly revenue, MRR, for AI services.
fantastic. Yeah, so let's go there deeper if you don't mind,
Yeah.
Denim. So you've mentioned that MSPs, some ideas where MSPs should start. You've mentioned having it listed on their website. What other tips do you have, like practical, simple things that MSPs
Sure.
could start doing like now?
Okay. I'm speaking from the perspective that I've generated thousands of leads at this point in the last 5 years for MSPs around the country. So one of the first things to do is get it on your homepage, so that when someone lands on your homepage, right there they see you offer AI, and you're doing that not just for the human visitors, but also
Mm,
the AI visitors, the AI engines. If you do a search and type in or do a prompt asking for MSPs who offer AI services in a certain city, there's rarely proper responses or
right.
suggestions. So they're going to offer mention the big ones like Accenture and Cognizant, but you want to
Mm,
be mentioned if you search for your city, whether it's in Florida or California, you want your MSPs to show up in the prompt. If someone's asking for MSP who offers AI services. So having on your homepage, having a service page that mentions the different aspects. Like one big one is security. A lot of companies are concerned about their employees using AI. There's a shadow AI where employee is at home doing work on a Sunday and they're putting in personal or client information into ChatGPT. So that's the kind of stuff that's right for MSP to take advantage of. The security aspect, workflows, being more efficient. As you mentioned, the tools that you offer, there's different things that an MSP can implement for a client. So having on your website is
Mm.
huge. One thing I suggest too is, as far as a marketing perspective, is to buy the .ai version of your domain.
Right.
I've talked to a lot of MSPs and I mentioned that and like a light bulb goes off and a lot of them buy it right there while we're on the call.
Mhm.
So I suggest that if you have your domain name.com, check .ai version, buy that now. So you own it, you're protecting your brand because the last thing you want is some other company to buy your
Mm.
.ai version. And then now that you have the .ai version, use a tool like Lovable or Replete or Cursor to build AI website that that promotes your AI offering. So I see in the future, not far off, that you can have a legacy site, your .com, and then you can have a .ai site, which actually uses AIs. People can chat with it and get information from. So buying AI domain name is a good thing to do from now, so you own it. Use the tools, like that famous saying, "Eat your own dog food." Actually
Right.
use the tools to build a site so that when you're talking to a client, you can tell them, "Yeah, I've used Lovable, I've used Cursor," so you have an idea from a ground level how it all works. And so um, that's the two big things: getting the service page up on your home page, mention of AI, buying the domain name, and also blog posts. There's a very
Mm.
few amount of AI, MSPs writing about AI, and that's a quick, simple way to get content up so that you start showing up for these search queries. Um, and then one more thing too is because as you know, Camille, that AI needs content and needs data. So from now, start collecting all the sales collateral, case studies, all the type of public information that you would like AI to have access to, because that's going to be required at some point whenever you want to start promoting yourself and showing up in AI engines. You need to be able to feed them that content, right? So collect it from now. A lot of MSPs have that information all over the place. So start putting together a repository of the type of information you want AI to have access to. And that way, that will help you, again, come up in those prompts when it's time for you to promote yourself. Because that's one of the things I'm doing with MSP database. Each profile, I would like MSPs to be able to add their public available information. So when a prospect lands on their profile, they can chat with the AI engine and get specific information. And then one more thing that I always advise MSPs is to have an origin story on their website because that helps you
Mm.
show up in results. If you show some personality, mention how long you've been in business, how you got started, that kind of information, and then mention your AI services will help you show up in the AI engines as well. And that'll help you get to that lead generation because everything you mentioned is from the actual execution, right? When you have a client that's interested in AI, I always look at the aspect of getting people interested in it. There's lots of people looking for it, and you want them to find you. And then if conversation gets advanced, they always have you, Camille, that they can call you in, right? They now know an AI expert, and so you shouldn't be afraid to start the conversation. So the
100%.
last suggestion is to pick three clients, as you mentioned, and start the AI conversation. And one thing too is on the discovery calls. A lot of times I see leads because I listen to calls from certain MSPs that I help. Um, and on the discovery calls, it's good to mention AI as a one of the subjects to talk about because right from the get-go, you're showing your
Right.
advance, you're differentiating yourself from another MSP because a lot of times it's two or three MSPs they're looking at. So by mentioning AI right in the discovery call, you're setting yourself apart and you're giving them the prospect, the lead, and ideas of how you can help them, which can end up making you the choice they go with.
Fantastic. There's some great insights, Dan. We do want to leave some time for the Q&A for the
Sure,
audience. So maybe I'll ask you one last question.
sure.
And maybe for that, let's zoom out. So we are talking a lot about now is the time for MSPs to embrace AI. But from your very practical perspective, you have a very practical view on all of this.
Mm.
Is it really that, right? Do MSPs, are they absolutely should be leaning on AI? Or is this something that is not as urgent and as some would paint it? Where do you think we are?
Well, I definitely think it's something absolutely they should be involved with because it's something that every company is going to be interested in, and it's very competitive already. If one company or one of your clients knows their competitors using AI or starts offering an AI tool and you haven't even discovered it or looked into it, you're falling behind. And so for now is the time. It's been um, was it 4 years now since going to be 4 years since ChatGPT launched. And you look at it,
November
that's a long
30th,
time.
2022.
Exactly, right? So if we're on, it's over 3 years now, and it's time to move from, oh, AI is pretty cool, look what I did with it, to actually setting your business up to create an offering that brings in more revenue. Because if you're, like you mentioned, if you're not doing it, your competitor MSP across town is, right? And definitely everyone's in the same boat. There's always new tools coming out almost every week with AI, new features. So don't feel overwhelmed. We're all in the same boat learning, but start by taking the small steps, mentioning on your website, making blog posts about it, mentioning it to leads or in discovery call. Pick 3 clients, start talking to them about it. You have to begin that learning curve. And I think you're going to be happy another 3, 4 years from now that you made the move from today instead of waiting.
100%, just like the early adopters of cybersecurity
Yes.
benefited a lot. With that, then, thank you so much for participating.